Hi everyone, it's Elicia and my dog Brocco behind me. Today is a really important video. This is the thing you need to know before you start the core emotional healing process to address the root cause, the emotional root cause of your symptoms and your patterns. This video, I'm going to cover the top 3 blocks to healing. These, once you know the blocks to healing, become also the keys to your healing. So make sure you watch this entire video, get your journal, your pen, your computer, and please take notes and start reflecting on these. I am the founder of Core Emotional Healing, and I have been helping people all around the world over the last 6 years in group programs online and on retreats and privates and in many different ways. And these have proven to be the reason why it doesn't work for some people, and also on the flip side, why it works for so many people. Once you understand these blocks that become the keys. I'm going to tell you all about it today. I know most people wonder as you're approaching, maybe you've just discovered that there is an emotional root cause, and that's why your diet and supplements aren't working. You may have been trying to heal for the past 25 years and gone to therapy, and you're just wondering why that's not working. And many people try many different healing modalities and also discover that they're still dealing with the same symptoms and patterns, and they don't know why. So in this video, I'm going to answer those questions. So the top 3 blocks to healing. The first one is if you don't trust support. So not trusting support, there's a reason for that. And a very good reason is because you couldn't trust the support, or there was no support available for you when you were a child. So if no one was really there for you with your feelings, your needs, your wants, really listening to you, so you didn't feel supported in childhood, and the support that you got most likely wasn't good for you. So if they told you how you felt was wrong, or what you had to say was wrong, or if they were just not there for you at all, and if the support was not safe. So there might have been violence, abuse, things like that, and you were made to take care of yourself, and so you most likely grew up feeling that only it was up to you to take care of yourself. So that may have translated into you have to do it all by yourself. You're on your own, and that's the only way it's going to work is to do it by yourself. Just know that when you're trying to heal from your childhood wounds, you can't do it yourself. You can't do this work through a book. You can't do it through an online course, even though I do offer an online course, but I make it very clear that you need to be supported through the process. A book and an online course are very useful to understand why you need to do it and also what the process is, but it's not going to give you fully what you need to heal. You need to be supported through the process so you can see through whoever's working with you. If it's with me, then I help you see what you're not able to see yourself, what you've been protecting, your coping mechanisms, how they're getting in the way. All of that is really vital to have this work. Say you sign up to work with me, or you sign up for a program in general, but you don't listen to the person supporting you. So you may be unconsciously even rejecting the support, not trusting the support that you have. That obviously is going to keep you from getting what you need, and it's going to keep you from doing the process to heal yourself. So explore this. Go ahead and write it down and just explore, do you trust support? Do you want to be supported? And if you choose to work in a program or work with a practitioner, it's really important that you resonate with the person and that you fully open yourself up to hear what they have to say and actually do what they suggest you do. Okay, so the second block is that if you don't address your childhood wounds, a lot of times I see clients just focus on the issues in the present moment. Maybe their spouse they think their spouse is the problem, or if they could just get someone to support them and listen to them currently, then everything will be better. I think most of the people in the world aren't addressing their childhood wounds. That's why I do what I do. That's why I work with symptoms, because most people aren't even aware that there was any issues to address from childhood, because there have been so many defenses and protections that you're not even aware of that have kept you from even knowing that there's an issue. There's tons of blind spots and just lack of memory. These are called defense mechanisms. Another way of saying it is the ways you protected yourself from feeling your childhood pain can look like you have rose-colored glasses and you see your parents only in the good things that they did, and you had to ignore the ways that they have hurt you. And so that can look like you can't see it at all. You don't see it, and that's another reason why you have to work with someone to help you see that. You have to see it and acknowledge it and validate it in order to feel it. So a lot of the process and the core emotional healing process and working with me is to help you see what you had to deny, ignore, and also the ways that you are still bypassing your own feelings. And that can look like forgiveness, jumping to forgiveness too quickly, having imbalanced compassion for your parents. And when I say imbalanced, it means you're not having compassion for yourself. You're understanding they had a bad childhood, they had it worse, they did the best that they could, which is all true. And to put it into balance is they also passed their wounds down to you, and it had impacted you, and you still have to heal from them. And in order to heal from them, you have to feel how it felt. And so getting through the ways that you've protected your feelings, you protected your parents, and also avoided feeling how they have hurt you. You could also say you did therapy for many years, and so you think you've already addressed it, but you actually haven't felt it. Sometimes people think, I've already worked through all of that, and working through it for some people is just talking about it. So they think that they have already done this work, healed from their childhood by talking about it. So emotional healing is all about feeling your feelings, feeling your emotions. In order to heal, you have to feel. And you have to, like I said, acknowledge what hurt you, validate it, and then fully feel it. So if you skip over the feeling part, feeling your feelings from childhood, which means you need to acknowledge, access, express, and feel your repressed emotions from childhood. If you don't feel your repressed emotions from childhood, you're going to be stuck in them, and that is what keeps you stuck in your symptoms and your patterns and compulsions, and it keeps you stuck in needing a lot of spiritual practices even to feel better, or you have to do certain things because you still have anxiety or depression if you don't do these things. That's all coming from your repressed emotions from childhood. So if you continue to protect and numb your repressed emotions, then you're going to be blocked from fully healing and moving on from your childhood. Another thing that some people may say is that I live in the present moment. I don't want to look back. Well, you don't have to look back, because you're actually living from your past still until you fully feel your feelings. That is what truly brings you to naturally forgiving, because you actually aren't living from your pain. There's nothing to forgive at that point. You just accept what happened, and you've already moved past it because you processed it emotionally. And so you can take out your journal and start to reflect what could be keeping you from addressing your past. What happened in childhood, what hurt you. Have you felt your feelings? Have you worked with your inner child and been what you needed for your, as a child, you needed someone to help you, validate your feelings and even stand up for your feelings. So that's all a part of the core emotional healing process. Write down what you may say that keeps you from doing that, and also how you protect your feelings, how you numb your pain, how you stay kind of away from it. It can be living in your head, researching, thinking about the future. It can be a lot of distractions. You can be going from one modality to another, just kind of making sure that other people remove it for you. That's another thing. If you stay in the spiritual realm, bypassing the emotions, if you are doing a lot of meditation and energy healing and manifesting, that's a little too soon, because you don't actually have to do that much after you feel your feelings from your past. You will be clearer to get what you want in the present and actually feel good and calm in the present moment without having to do things to shift how you feel. And the third block. This is really important. I have worked with a lot of people. Most people I work with, as long as you do all of these things, as I said, these are keys to your healing. So if you flip these blocks into, if it's not that, so if you do trust support, if you listen to who's supporting you and you do it, you're going to move through it quicker and easier. If you listen to the person supporting you about how you're protecting it and how you're protecting yourself, or in denial, and then you actually reflect and see it, and then you move through your resistance and go into your feelings with the support that you have, then you're going to move quicker through the process and heal quicker as well. The third block is if you remain in the pattern. So the pattern is what you experienced from childhood, how you were treated, and how you treat yourself as a result. I'm going to go over some examples. If you stay in that same pattern, so say you're in relationships, you choose relationships that are like your parents or how your parents treated you, so you're going to be kind of recreating the same wounds from childhood. So if you're with a partner who also doesn't listen to you or shames you or isn't available for you or can't commit to you, if it's abusive in any way, if they can't support you, if they're selfish, all of these things you're going to remain in the same pattern, which will keep you in the same wounds as childhood and the same beliefs. So it's going to reflect the wounds that are not healed yet, or fully healed. So say you've done some of the emotional releasing from childhood, you're trying to reparent your inner child, but you're still allowing yourself to be treated that same way. So that's going to keep you feeling that you are not supported, or you don't feel lovable or good enough, because they're reflecting that back to you. So in order to fully heal, you have to go through your emotional processing from your childhood experience, and then change what you allow and how you allow it to be treated from others and yourself in the present moment, to shift out of the pattern, so you know that you are lovable and good enough, and there's nothing wrong with you, and you deserve to be supported, and you deserve to have your needs met. You deserve to be listened to, and to be cared for, and to be respected. So remaining in the pattern can look like, even outside of like a romantic relationship or partnership, if you are still a people pleaser, so which means that you're not speaking up for what you need, you're always going along with what other people want. If you don't stand up for yourself when people are disrespecting you, and that can look like still being enmeshed with your parents, still taking care of your parents' feelings and what they want, or they could still be putting you down in different ways, but you don't want to risk upsetting them or losing their love. If you look outside of yourself for love and approval, so you're always looking for validation outside of yourself, and so you are not really being authentic, because you're being what other people want you to be in order to get that validation. And if you stay in any abusive or unsupportive relationship. If you're in a healthy relationship, but you're still not asking for what you need, and if you don't believe in yourself, and you are just resigned to not getting what you want, if you are still listening to what other people want for you, especially with parents. There's a lot of enmeshment that I work with adults in relationships with parents, where the parents are still telling them what they should do even though they're adults. And so they're listening to their opinions, so they're going to be affected by that, and that's going to keep you, if you do that, disconnected from your truth and from your needs and your wants. And so it's going to keep you still in the pattern from childhood, where you're disconnected from yourself, in that you can't trust yourself, and you don't know what you want, and you're not good enough, and you can't trust that you can make the right decisions for yourself, because you're always getting this back to you from other people, that you don't know what you're doing and you should be doing something else, so all of that's kind of giving yourself away, and you're not connected to your truth and your power, and taking care of yourself from that deeper place around your feelings. So once you're truly connected to your feelings, this is the key to healing. You're reconnecting to your feelings from childhood, so that you can also speak from that place in the present moment of, you know what you want based on how you feel, or what you don't want, and what doesn't feel good. And when people are violating your boundaries in different ways, or telling you what you should be doing, when you know that that's not what you want to do or should be doing. So that's in summary the 3 blocks, and also keys to healing. This is a longer video than usual because there's a lot to cover, but I want you to really reflect on these things. The things that the patterns I just went over, please write in your journal what you identify with and what you still need to address. I have worked with people who started, doing a lot of the childhood emotional healing, but then they remained in an abusive relationship, and then they kept saying, well, why do I still have my symptoms? Why aren't my symptoms going away? And I said, because your relationship is keeping you in the same pattern and pains, and disconnected from taking care of your needs and your feelings. So all of that matters. trusting support, really addressing fully and feeling fully your childhood wounds, and also shifting the pattern of how you relate to yourself and others and what you allow, and creating these healthy boundaries so that you can shift out of the old limiting ways of relating, but also the limiting beliefs that come with that. So you know that you deserve to get your needs met from others as well. So thank you for joining, and for joining these little mini workshops I'm giving here. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because they do go in order. If you haven't, please check out the first video on my homepage on YouTube that comes up. And all of these videos, it would be good to go in order, to go through this process with me, and share with friends if you know anyone else that is trying to heal and feels stuck and don't know what to do. I'm going to be sharing exactly how to go through it, so you can go through it quicker and you don't have to get stuck and feel frustrated and feel like nothing is going to work. So remember, your symptoms are a gift, and I'm here to help support you so you can be fulfilled in every area of your life.